So my movie star dreams are dead, but there's still rock and roll. After all, Ekaterinburg is the rock capital of Russia. Just about 40 kilometers outside of town, they hold a rock festival every year, but this is a big one. This is like Woodstock, Us Festival, and Lollapalooza for the Urals region. So I'm gonna go in and see how these guys shred. Yeah, I'm supposed to be on the VIP list. The way I hear this works is the cooler you act, the better chance you have. Здравствуйте. I'm on the VIP list. Спасибо. Это значит, что я cool, да? Отлично. Спасибо. I got in. It's a 3-day festival with about 100 bands playing on 3 stages from morning until well into the night. Most of the groups who come to the festival aren't very well known outside of their hometowns. And not only are these bands relatively unknown, but they come from places that are sometimes thousands of kilometers away from Ekaterinburg. Right now I'm with the group Komanda Gu. They came up here from Moscow. So your group Komanda Gu, where did you get the name Komanda Gu from?
6 years ago, our name was Commander Goofy. But
Commander Goofy. Is that from the Disney character Goofy? Or?
Yes.
Oh, I see. Okay.
But now we are not so. We became heavy. Now we play like Rage Against the Machine.
You know what goo is in English? Goo is like it's very gooey. No, it's totally wholesome. It's nice. It's okay. Well, thank you very much. Good luck, you guys.
Thank you.
Like a typical rock festival, you have lots of kids hanging out, putting up campsites, drinking beer. You see they're also practicing their Boy Scout skills, I guess in this case pioneer skills, drying out their nasty socks and their nasty shoes. Part of the whole rock festival experience is just forgetting about the city life, forgetting about everything, forgetting about showers. You just let go, just get real, get natural, hang out in the community. So I'm gonna see if I can just stay here with some punks and just hang out in their tent, sleep there for the night. Привет. What's going on, dude? What's going on, man? So, like, can I stay in your tent? Is it all right? I mean, just, а можно в палатке просто поспать, потому что, ну, вечером уже, да? All right, man, I'm just gonna just hang out with these guys and... Are punks dead?
No, Punk's not dead!
Punk's not dead, okay. Whoa! This punk dead. I think I'm gonna look for a slightly better tent. Спасибо, ребята. Whoa. Everyone has their own idea of what punk means, and my definition doesn't include sleeping in filthy tents. So I found a more bourgeois option for the night. After all, I have to be in good shape tomorrow morning. A nice room, a nice little bed.
Okay. James, your room is on the 6th floor. Have a nice day.
Since Ekaterinburg is located so close to the mountains, it should really come as no surprise that rock climbing has become quite popular here. In fact, rock climbing is getting more popular all over Russia, but the difference is in most places, you have to learn how to climb on a fake mountain wall, whereas here you can climb on the real thing. Okay, I've clearly chosen the wrong day to learn this, but hopefully I've chosen the right people to teach me. This is Sasha and Katya, they're local rock climbing enthusiasts. How you doing? Nice to meet you, Sasha.
How are you?
Katya? Hi, nice to meet you. So, you think you could teach me even in this weather with the wet rocks and everything? It's okay?
Maybe you can try it.
Okay, I'll give it a try.
It's possible.
I won't slide off and fall down or anything?
No, the rope is very strong.
Yeah. I don't know, usually my mom helps dress me, so let me see.
I help you.
You'll be my mom. Thank you. I miss her. Okay, hold on a second.
Okay, good.
Yeah. I give surrender. Sasha, there's no way. It can't be done.
Yeah, maybe whatever.
You think you can do it?
I can try.
Okay,
Maybe I
listen.
show you.
I'll give you 10 rubles if you can climb up there. You think so? Okay. All right, well, good luck. Should I take all this off, yeah?
Rubles is good. Good money.
All right. All I could do is watch it and weep. Next time I should trade in my jeans for something more appropriate. Or maybe the problem is me. The region around Ekaterinburg not only offers the great outdoors, but it also holds the remains of a dark chapter in Russia's history. In 1976, Soviet road construction workers came across a mass grave while they were working on this highway over here. There are over 16,000 bodies, and these people had been killed during Stalin's time, mostly at the height of the terror in 1937 and 1938. But this was still the Soviet Union time, so they kept the information hush, and it wasn't until 1996 that they put up this memorial. The inscription on this wall here, I think, is really powerful. I'll translate just a bit of it here. It says, "Here are buried the remains of thousands of dead. The truth about this mass grave and the reasons for their death were hidden for many years. Today we know their names." What's even more disconcerting is trying to imagine all of the names that we don't know. The Urals region has been known for its stone-cutting craftsmen for almost 300 years now. And this figure right here depicts an old-style craftsman working in his studio. Right now, I'm in a modern studio, but in fact, they still pretty much do things the same way as they used to. It's just that the equipment has changed. Right now, I'm going to meet Alexei. He's the head craftsman here in the studio. Здравствуйте, Алексей. Меня зовут Марк. Очень приятно. Что здесь делаете?
Здесь самая первоначальная обработка камня идет резко.
I see. So this is the beginning here. This is the first stage where they cut the rock. А можно мне показать, как делаете это? So what he told me about rhodonite, it's one of the 3 most beautiful rocks to work with, is what he said. And it's also a really pricey rock. He put it up there with malachite and said it's gotten that expensive and that rare in recent times. When you first look at a semi-precious stone, it doesn't seem all that interesting. So first you need to cut and polish it, then it goes to the artisan. The whole job can take an artisan a few months to complete, and the price of his work winds up being hundreds of times more than the value of the actual stone. While they're sanding down and polishing the stone, another one of the craftsmen at the same time is going to be working on creating a 1-to-1 scaled model, but using clay. So this model is going to be, it's going to have every one of the same details that the final figure is going to have. As you can see here, this is one of the 4 musketeers. It's going to be part of a set of all 4 musketeers. So once the pieces are carved and the figurines pretty much in place, the last thing you got to do is you got to polish it like I'm doing here. Now the key is to not push too hard. I really don't want to mess anything up here because these figurines can go for up to 5 figures. And I don't want to be cutting stones for free for the rest of my life. Now this here, this is the torso and the upper arm of one of the musketeers. And I'm starting to work on the polishing here. I think this takes a while. And then once you have all the pieces polished, then you do the last thing, which is affix all the limbs. Now, this right here looks like this musketeer lost this particular battle, but actually what happens is you affix the different parts using pins. And so it's going to look something like this. The Urals, which used to be called simply the Stone, is famous not only for its rich mineral and stone deposits, it's also the continental divide between Europe and Asia. Most of the continental borderline is in pretty inaccessible mountainous places, but the borderline here outside of Ekaterinburg is a really popular place for tourists to come, because you can actually stand on both sides of the border, and there's a sign and a whole little memorial area marking it. And then here there's a signpost showing different cities and how far they are from the borderline area. And I had a sign made for my hometown, San Jose, where I was born, which also happens to be the sister city of Ekaterinburg. So I'm going to put this up right now. You see it says San Jose, 9,500 kilometers this way. Now this is going to Siberia. If I were to go the other way through Europe, it would be almost the same, which means, actually, if I were to go down, San Jose is almost directly down if you were to dig all the way down. I was born 12,000 kilometers that way, which is kind of appropriate, because for me, San Jose was always a kind of hell. Although maybe the whole problem was me, I'm not sure. Anyway, see if I can put this up. Let's see, get in there. I was never very good at this kind of stuff. You know, I think it's kind of unfair that my hometown, San Jose, is beneath some of these rinky-dink cities like Pilsen. What's that? It's a beer. Or Copenhagen. That's chewing tobacco. And Geneva, I've never even heard of Geneva before. Do you know the way to San Jose? A lot of my stay here in Ekaterinburg has been revolving around rocks. There was malachite, there was a rock festival and rock climbing. But if I may be so bold, I don't think Ekaterinburg's future is as rocky as my adventure here, because Ekaterinburg sits on the border between Asia and Europe. And really, that's what Russia is. Russia is a Eurasian country. And that makes Ekaterinburg really the most Russian city of all.